Hey, don't worry about my hair. It's late at night. I'm too lazy to make it look good. Hey, Chris Parry again with the 3-minute hit on Equity Guru. Today, I want to talk about Plurilock again. I've talked about Plurilock a lot over the past couple of months, and I tell you, very few people are upset by that because the company's going on an absolute tear right now in two ways. One, the stock chart looks fantastic, right? Like the stock chart, when we started talking about it, it was a 12-cent stock. It went up as high as 23 cents in the last couple of weeks. Settled down a little to 20 now. But result, right? Like these prices are prices that haven't been seen for a while. Why is Plurilock going on a bit of a bender? Couple of reasons. One, it's AI related, right? This is a company that uses AI, real AI, not pretendsy AI, but real AI as a security method for your computer, for your logins, for your corporate IT, rather than asking you for a login and a password, which anyone knows can be cracked. And once you've logged in, I know this, I go for a pee, and who knows who could be sitting at my desk, right? Now, nobody's really going to be doing that in this shop. But if you're a Fortune 500 company, if you're a government organization, you don't want someone putting their password in and then going for a quick piss and coming back 20 minutes later with a couple of things been emailed off their desktop. You know what I'm saying? What Plurilock does better than a login is it watches the activity on your computer. It doesn't like just look at the text. What it does is it looks at the cadence. It looks at your typing style. It looks at the tabs that are open. It looks like how long it takes you to go from a Q to a P, how many spelling mistakes you make on certain words. I know that if I write accommodate, I got to go do a spell check every time. I'm always hitting A instead of S and S instead of A. Any AI bot watching me type will know it's me straight away. And everyone else has those little idiosyncrasies. So this is actually a method of making sure that the person who is at the keyboard is the right person all through the day rather than just at login. It's really interesting, really clever. And if you look at their timeline, their newswire, really successful. Plurilock, if you have it on any sort of watch list, it's going to annoy you because every single day they put out news that says, we got a new contract, we got a new contract, we got a new contract. Now, the problem with Plurilock is they're not going to tell you who that contract is with, because in the words of the CEO, Ian Patterson, if I told you, I'd be guilty of treason. This tells you that they're dealing with some high-end government, military, Fortune 500 stuff that as part of the deal, they've got to get through their confidentiality checks, their security background checks, and that means they can't just go, oh, and by the way, it rhymes with Shmesh BI that we're doing business with right now. Now, I'm just going to go down the Plurilock list of news releases just since February 1, right? Signs contract renewal with IT company, expands contract with overseas customer, signs 3-year contract renewal with Muthoot, receives 3-year sales order for software, receives 7 CMAS contracts, that's California public service contracts, as I understand it, receives a PO from a US financial institution, receives another one from a US credit union, and appoints a director. Of, what are we talking now? There are 8 different news releases in 1 month. All but one of them was new business or renewed business. These guys are making bank. People don't understand it because it's InfoSec, right? They think, well, it's hacking or something. No, this is a computer security company with an AI-based method of making sure that the person at the keyboard is the right person to be at the keyboard. And if there's any discrepancy, a note can shoot off to IT to make sure that someone goes down and has a check. This is smart. It's next level. It's so much more impressive than passwords or like thumbprints. You know what? If someone wants to get into your computer and they have to put your thumbprint down to make it happen, you're going to lose your thumb, buddy. Like, the stuff that Plurilock is doing is next level. PLUR is the ticker symbol. The stock has gone quite nicely, up for about a double in the last 6 weeks. We expect it to keep going. I don't have to make any promises because Plurilock's got the runs on the board. You can go back 2 years and look at all of their news releases, and it is a cavalcade of new and renewed business. Now, as we mentioned, they can't come out and say, hey, we're working with the XYZ agency, because XYZ agency, that's a security risk if they do that. So everything you're going to get out of the news release wise, it ain't going to talk about money. It ain't going to talk about who it's with unless it's a normie company. So you're going to have to fill in a lot of the gaps, or wait for their financials to come out. Now, they have got financials, buddy. They've made acquisitions over the last 2 years, which on a quarterly basis, you look at and say, they lost money this quarter, they lost money that quarter. Sure, because they're buying shit. They've been buying companies left and right, and now they're letting those companies settle down, and they're adding them to each other's customer base, right? You got a company that you buy that does X, you got a company that you buy that does Y. Once you've got them together, you sell their products to the other customers. This is the basis of Plurilock's business model. And it's smart, but it doesn't come and just light you up with neon signs. It's going to take a while for those numbers to catch up to the money spent acquiring those companies and really give you a quarter where you say, oh shit, that's some nice profit. My thinking is the next quarter is going to be the time where the rubber hits the road, where they step back a second on the spending and they start really cranking out the revenue. I'm looking at their news releases. It's all revenue stuff, all revenue stuff. And the beauty of InfoSec stuff is once you've actually built it, it's scalable to hell and back, right? You've built the software, you've got the team that runs the software. If you sell it to 5 seats at one company or 500,000 seats to the next company, same cost. The margins are going to keep growing. Plurilock, PLUR. One of these days I'm going to do one of these. This is actually 3 minutes. Today is not that day.